Shalom, call Halim like Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And sincere shalom to the 144,001 Now, I believe through the Spirit that this 100-mile border zone will be heavily utilized, in the future to a higher degree than what we see now. The Border Patrol agents have special privileges to violate people's constitutional rights here in the U.S. of A. within this 100-mile border zone. Now, typically, they only, violate your rights at the airports, international airports, and of course, when you drive in or be driven into Babylon the Great through the borders, in Texas and Minnesota and whatnot. Okay. Now, as you can see on the screen, nearly 2 out of 3 people live within a 100-mile border zone. That means almost 70% of Americans live here. They can easily exploit this border zone, okay, to violate people in major cities, all right, to do legal, to make it legal to violate people's constitutional rights. Almost 70% of Babylonians, all right, guaranteed right here. And then who's to say they can't take it further? I mean, as we know, once martial law hits, it's pretty much the Constitution is totally out the window once a Constitution hits. But guess what? Things could get bad, and it will get bad because it's already getting bad before anything like that happens. Before a martial law type of experience, before something that triggers martial law happens, it's still going to be bad, still going to be rough. People are still going to be alive and exist and go through things. You understand? That's why this 100-mile border zone, you see, this was strategic for these devils. Because Esau knows that the majority of people live in this border zone. And what do you need 100 miles to watch over your quote unquote border for? Like you got all of Florida is in this 100 miles. A good portion of Washington State, a good portion of California, a good portion of Oregon, all of Vermont or something like that. Look at all these places that are completely within this 100-mile border enforcement zone where they can violate your Fourth Amendment and all these other rights that you're supposed to have as a citizen getting violated. All right. Let's get this right here. This is Psalms 94:20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? So the elect are going to overcome this devil. Whatever Esau throws, the elect is going to overcome it. Even some of the elect is going to get put to death. All right, they're still part of the elect. They're still going to get risen up. Okay, once Yahushua makes that return. So you Edomite, it's already written that Esau is going to lose. They just don't fully comprehend how they're going to lose. But they're through. It was. Let's get that. Let me see if I can get that. I think it's 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, and verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So guess what? Everything that's going to play out, the Most High Yahweh declared it. Why? Because he controls everything. That's why he can declare something. You see, the Most High Yahweh doesn't make predictions. All right, man makes predictions. All right, Yahweh, he doesn't predict anything. He knows what's going to play out. Right? He knows the future because he creates the future. You understand? And that's why we know, all right, because the Most High Yahweh has given us the gift, the gospel, that you devils are cooked. Let's get verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder, in powerful works, in endings, in effects, and signs. Endings, in effects, and signs. And everyone that shall be saved, so everyone is gonna, this is talking about the Israelites, all right, the elect, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. So you're saved. So this is how you know, all right, how shy, so on and so forth. This is end time prophecy because it didn't say nothing about keeping the law. It said works and faith. You know who else? You know where else that's written at? Being saved? What? In the New Testament with Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. All right, which is a part of the Old Testament. So guess what? It was already declared from the beginning what was going to play out. Everything and anything. Let's get this is Matthew 21:40. When the Lord therefore the vineyard cometh, what will he do unto these husbandmen? They say unto him, he will miserably destroy those wicked men, and will let out his vineyard unto other husbandmen, which shall render him the fruits in their season. So guess what? You're gonna have the elect putting in the work. You're gonna have these 2/3 being taken out, these wicked Israelites taken out, and ultimately the wicked, all right, which is these Edomites, all right, being taken out of the picture, rooted out of the earth, because you sow wickedness. Look at this 100-mile border zone. What you need this for, right? You don't need all this. This is overreach. And then they given the border patrol the right to come after you. And now they talking about Trump is trying to sign in a law to where if you're a foreigner coming to Babylon the Great, they're gonna need your iris scan, your fingerprint scan, your DNA, 5 years of your emails, phone numbers, social. I mean that's tyrannical. And I seen somebody, don't quote me on this, I didn't look it up, so could be false. But the you know what in Germany was doing similar things during their regime. So guess what? You eat them, these Edomites. Let's get this right here. This is Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. There you go. Esau wants to come and try to proclaim that, oh, these Western countries have this higher human index, which shows the overall quality of life for their civilians. But guess what? The MOTB, right? That's their goal. Mass die-off, targeted genocide, right? Because they're going to come specifically after the Israelites, mainly you so-called blacks in America, right? You Judites. That's the main people they want to come after. So what? Guess what? Targeted genocide. Okay, and guess what? Overall mass die-off, right? And then guess what? They're trying to regulate the internet, coming for your internet, coming for your freedom of speech, coming for all, trying to come for your guns. They're doing gun confiscation in Canada, right? Australia just banned social media for 16-year-olds, right? So these Edomites are making moves, and they're gonna keep making moves. And then sooner rather than later, the economy is gonna take a big hit. Babylon just stole a ship, an oil tanker from Venezuela. And now they're bringing it in to think the port in Houston. I think that's where they're gonna dock it at. So this is all happening. Things are all being made. Moves are being made. These Edomites are, salivating at the fact that everything to them is going according to plan, but it's not. Let me get this. This is Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always. So what are we watching? We got our smartphones, we got TVs, right? We got internet access to watch and look at news. Now, of course, you got to be smart. You can't just see one thing and just roll with it. You got to fact check everything that is relevant to your thoughts. Fact check it. Fact check it. Don't just believe something. All right, even if it sounds like it's something that's prophetic. No, make sure it's credible. Watch ye therefore and pray always. Yeah, pray when you wake up. All right, try to pray multiple times a day, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. So guess what? Faith and works is the ultimate foundation, not watching and praying. All right. Faith, works, watching and praying. All right. Comes after faith and works. All right. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Now, this is it talking about, all right, going to sleep to regenerate, rejuvenate your body? No. It's talking about being keenful, being eyeful to your surroundings, to what's going on around you, in your city, in your country, the earth as a whole. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. There you go. And it's not talking about drugs, like alcohol. It's talking about being on point with what's going down, being aware of geopolitics. Your local neighbor, what's going on in your local neighborhood. You should know, to some degree, what's going on in your local neighborhood. Not saying you got to talk to your neighbors, but keep an eye out. All right. So that's it for this lesson. Auto One Route to Jobs, edifying. Shalom.